Good morning, everyone. Here are some percent problems. If you'll notice, these are the same percent problems that are in your assignment for today. I did that on purpose. The Creek girls volleyball team won 72% of their game. Write the number as a decimal and as a fraction. So we know that 72% is what we're focusing on. So we want to put it as a decimal. We know that 72%, because its percent, is 72 over 100. And if you'd like to simplify that, you can. You do not have to. And then as a decimal, we look at our denominator and we say it would be 72 hundredths. There is an option for you to put both a fraction and a decimal online. Next question. In math class, 78% of the students are on task. Write that percent as a fraction and as a decimal. So again, we know that we're focusing on the 78%. We have 78 over 100 because it is a percent. Again, you can simplify this fraction if you'd like to. And then our decimal is going to be 78 hundredths because we look at the denominator of our fraction. Very straightforward, very simple. In a class, 65% of the children are girls. What percent are boys? So we know that percent means out of 100. So we always have to think of 100 as our starting number. Now, we have 65% of this class is girls. So if we take 100 and subtract 65, this becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. We would have had to borrow 1 from here, so this becomes 9. 9 minus 6 is 3. So we have 35% of the class is boys. Remember, we want to have our units. We don't want to just say 35%. In this case, we're talking about boys, so that would be our 35%. That's our 35% would be our unit. Sorry about that. In a package of red Skittles, 27% are red. So again, we're talking about part of our package. So part of the package is 27%. They are red Skittles. So now we need to find out what percentage are not red. That's a big deal because not red meaning all the other ones. So again, we would take our 100 because it's percent we're dealing with. And we would subtract out the 27% that are red. So then you do 10 minus, this becomes 10 because we have to borrow. We can't take away from 0. 10 minus 7 is 3. And then this becomes 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. So we have 73% of the Skittles are not red. And I put this over too far, so I'm going to move it over so you can see it. Make this a little larger so it's easier to read. Maybe not that big. There we go. In a collection of M&Ms with 3 colors, red, green, and blue, 32% of the M&Ms are green. Yellow is hard to see, so we'll use purple. 24% are yellow. What percentage of this package is blue? So we have 2 amounts. Now again, percentage or percent is out of 100. So we would have to, you can do it a couple of different ways. You could either subtract 100 minus 32, ten minus 2 is 8, 9 minus 3 is 6. So you could do it that way, but now don't forget about your 24% yellow. So we'd have to take 68 and subtract 24. We don't have to borrow here. 8 minus 4 is 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. So 44% of our package is blue. So we have 44% of the M&Ms. Oops. Is blue, or blue. Another way you could do it would be to add 32 and 24 and then subtract that away from 100. Both of those would work very well. A group of students was asked what was their favorite sport. 15% said baseball. 55, I'm sorry, they can't both be the same. We gotta change that. What percent said soccer? So we have 15% said baseball, 55 said basketball, and what percent said soccer? So we'll try the other method there where we add them together. So 15 plus 55, 0, carry my 1, 5, 6, 7. So we add them together, and then we subtract from 100. So 100 minus 70, 0 minus 0 is 0. You can look at this number all together here. 10 minus 7 is 3. So then we have 30% of students said soccer was their favorite. We want to try to use complete sentences when we're writing our answers too, not just 30%, because that doesn't mean anything. Mrs. Farragut took a survey in social studies to determine students' favorite subjects. She determined that 46% said math. I like that number. That's a lot. And then 38% said social studies was their favorite. What percent said reading was the best? So again, I'm going to add 38 and 46 together. 8 plus 6 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 4 more gives me 8. So this is the percent that has answered. Now we have to find the remaining. We take 100 and we subtract 84. So we have to borrow to make this a 10. This becomes 9. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 18. Wow, 9 minus 8 is 1. So we have 16% of students said reading was their favorite. Not awake today, I guess. This one is a little tricky. You have to read through it first. A shop sells chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry ice cream. 45% of the ice cream is vanilla. 1/4 is strawberry. What percentage are chocolate? So the first thing that we need to do, so we know we have 45%. Okay. But now 1/4, think about it in money. How much money is 1/4? It's 25 cents. So therefore, 1/4 of 100 would be 25. You add them together. 5 plus 5 is 10. Carry our 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 2 more is 7 again. And that's okay. So now we have to take 100 and subtract out what we do have, which is our 70%. Oh, I don't need to cross it off, but that's okay. 0 minus 0 is 0. 10 minus 7 is 3. So it looks like 30% of ice creams sold are chocolate. We've talked about these before, but I had put this here as like a little hint for you. So remember, when we're writing these, is means equal. The percent becomes a decimal. Of is times, so you could write it as a dot or an X, 80. And then you can say what, just leave it blank. Leave it as a blank because we don't know yet. Okay? So now we're going to do 80 times 0.25, 25 hundredths, right? 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 8 is 40. Add our placeholder at the end here. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 8 is 16. You have to add these together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 4 plus 6 is 10, so we put the 0 and we carry the 1. Now, the last part is important. We have to move our decimal point. So there's 1, 2 places here. We have to add in 1, 2 places here. So our answer would be 20. That's it. So 25% of 80. So remember, 25% is smaller than 100. So this number should be smaller than 80. Okay? All I did was multiply the two numbers there. Let's try another one. So remember, we have what? So is gives us equal. Of gives us times. Okay? So what, we leave it blank, is 45%, change it to a decimal, of 110. So all we're doing is multiplying those two numbers together. Okay? Five times 0 is 0. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 0 for a placeholder. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 1. 4. 4 times 1 is 4 again. So now we need to add them all up. We have 0. 5 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 4 is 9. And then we add the 4. And again, we have to move in our 2 decimal places. So we're going to do 1, 2. And our answer here would be 49. Because again, 45% is smaller than 100, so our answer should be a smaller number.